what happened.
But just like baseball, the show goes on. We leave no excuse. We're gonna get this
Yes,
show
sir.
started. So we had a little technical difficulty starting out with Coach Smoke's phone, but we are here. We live and direct with the one, the other, Coach Smoke. So just I'm gonna give you guys a little background about Coach Smoke. Currently, Coach Smoke is one of the highly profiled, most requested infield coaches in the Midwest. He's from Simeon Career Academy, 2005 graduate. Simeon is we deem that as Sports U in Chicago. Also, alumni of great Grambling State University. The Grand Fam stand up. HBCU SWAC love.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so Coach Smoke, we got a couple of viewers that were been on here for about 12 minutes waiting on us. So I'm gonna jump right into it. All right. So just tell me a little bit about your baseball journey.
Man. So I started playing baseball when I was 5 years old. My aunt, she worked for Chicago Park District, and we used to always be up there all the time with us. And the park she was at had affiliations with Jackie Robinson West Little League, and she just kicked me and my cousin out the park and told us go play. We like what? So I'm 5, he's 6, and we just went out there and played. Man, that first year playing baseball, I was terrified. I was just standing there. I didn't do nothing. And basically what it came down to for me to start enjoying the game. I'm not gonna say I fell in love with the game just then, but when I started enjoying the game, I went out of town, so I missed like a weekend. And my
Okay.
cousin, he was scared just like me, but he ended up getting a hit while I was gone. And so and so once I got back and found that out, all fear was gone after that point. It was like, Joe, if he can get a hit, I can get a hit. I'll never forget my first hit of playing baseball was a pop up to the pitcher, and the pitcher didn't catch it. So yeah, as I got older, I found out there was an error, but can't nobody take that from me. That's a hit. That's my first career hit of my life at 5 years old was a pop up to the pitcher. And then basically, life went on. I say by 10 years old is when I started to understand that I was really good at this game. And that's when I fell in love with it. Um, I got my first opportunity to try out for, Jackie Robinson West All-Star team. I made the team. It was some adversity that came with that, but hey, that comes. And then, life went on from there. Played with Jackie Robinson all the way up to 15 years old. But then at 13, I went on to high school. I went to Simeon. And this is where all my natural abilities changed. And I had a coach that was on my ass, man. And I thought everything I was doing defensively was the right way, because everybody was always telling me I was sweet, everybody telling me that. So I'm like, man, I'm good, man. I got to high school, and Robert Fletcher, man, this dude he the one recruited me to come to Simeon, and man, this dude was on me like crazy, man. And I used to be like, man, what is going on with this dude, man? Man, but all in all, man, that stuff really helped me out, man, and it actually helped me develop to what I became today, man. And when it come to defense, and the same guy, Robert Fletcher, is how I ended up at Grambling. He contacted Coach at Grambling. He's a fellow Graham alum. He contacted Coach at Grambling. They was actually playing a game in Gary, Indiana. And at the time, James Sapp Randall was the head coach at Grambling. He came, and he didn't get a chance to see me play, which is crazy. But he trusted, Fletcher's and Coach Frank's words. Both are Grand Slam alum, by the way. My high school coach and one of my mentors. You know, like he trusted their word, and he brought me down to Grambling, and I got down to Grambling, and that's what kind of a lot of things changed when baseball for me. That was my first time that I was not playing with my guys, so that was a challenge for me. I never really expressed that to anybody, but I think of our group, I was the only one that kind of went to school by myself. So it was a challenge, to start out. And our first season was rough. I mean, it was rough, and I wasn't used to losing like that, at Simeon. So, it was that first season, it was a lot of instances where I wanted to, give up. And but I end up learning the love of the game was fine, but I started to understand the benefits of the game. I had gave up the dream of going pro. I gave that dream up while I was in high school, but I understood that I'm in college right now to get my degree. So baseball is making that possible. So I just maintained and did what I had to do then. And after my first year of college, got a new coach in Barry Ray who, I wasn't his cup of tea to start out. He wasn't used to guys like me. I'm a small guy. I,
He's
I, I,
big
I
Infield, yeah.
I valued infield. I wasn't the guy that was going up there hitting for power. I was an infield guy. But with my size and stature, it was known that I had to be a fast guy, and I wasn't the fastest. I didn't have the strongest arm. So I really wasn't his cup of tea. But he saw some things in me that he knew he could get the best out of me. And so my junior year at Grambling, which was by far my best year, I was all conference. And and it was at that point, when me and Coach Ray would talk a lot that, he would tell me that I got a future in this game, not as a pro baseball player, but as a coach. And I waved it off like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then I started my senior year, I really started to really think about it. And then we lost in the SWAC tournament, and I thought I was done with baseball for good because the way we lost, I was like, you know what? This is too much. This is too emotional for me, man. And and so that was my baseball journey as a player. Like that's how it all summed up.
Okay. No, that was great. That was great. So this leads me into my next question. So how did that process and that journey evolve you, I'm sorry, into training just infielders, right? Because with you being at HBCU, you got to play multiple positions depending on what's going on with the lineup, who's eligible, who's hit, who's hot,
Hmm.
who's not. So, but how did your journey and your process get you to just train infielders?
So I'm gonna start with my journey into coaching because, like I said, I didn't really. I thought I was done with baseball, and I came home. I had moved to Houston after I graduated from college, and then I ended up moving back home, and I went to go check out Simeon. You know, Simeon team play. This was when they had Corey Ray. They was fresh off winning the city championship.
Okay.
So but they still had Corey, Marshawn, Rowe, Bo, Darius, all those guys. So I'm like, man, you know what? I want to go check these boys out. And I went to practice, and Coach Frank was like, we got a game tomorrow, son. Come with us. I'm like, all right, I'll meet y'all up. He like, no, son, you gonna ride the bus with us. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll ride the bus. And when I went to the game, man, it was a lot of things that I just with this talented group, I was like, yo, it's a lot of things that shouldn't be happening,
Okay.
shouldn't be taking place. And so that's when I decided to start coaching. Coach Frank at that moment was like, I need you here, son. Like, I need you here. So I'm like, cool. So I started my coaching career with those guys, man, and that's when the love started developing again. Then I got with the ACE program later on, and that was really big for me to get back connected with the game and with the youth. But it was about 4 years ago, one of the parents with the ACE program, he reached out to me and he just was like, Smoke, man, I know you was a really good infielder in your time. Like, why don't you train kids? I'm like, man, I just never thought about doing it. I'm like, I know what I can do. I'm like, I just never really thought about doing it.
Right.
He like, man, look. He like, well, look, man, I want you to train my son. I'm like, all right, cool. All right. So I was training his son, and went from his son to his son best friend, and then one other kid. So for about 2.5, 3 years, I had just three guys I was training.
Okay.
And then I end up getting some gym kids that you recommended, and it grew smaller. But that very first parent, he would tell me over and over, like, Smoke, you're great at what you're doing. Like, you need to expand. I'm like, look, man, I ain't not look. If people want to reach out to me and ask me to help them, I will. I'm like, but I'm not going, push myself on nobody. He like, but they don't know what you're doing here. He like, you gotta figure out. I'm like, man, nah, I'm real. I'm a real mellow guy. Like, I don't really like too much attention, So I'm like, man, I'm gonna just. He like, no, man, you're too good at this. I'm like, man, it's cool. And then one day I was just sitting at home, and I was like, you know what, Coach Smoke Camp, and it went from there, And it was like I figured out a way to put myself out there for people to see, and people really like started rocking with me. And the reason I only train infielders is because this is what I did.
Okay.
For me, it's a different type of passion for what you personally did. I've had people reach out to me about getting hitting lessons. I've had people reach out to me about doing outfield, and I tell them all, like, look, man, I know this infield stuff. Like I don't. If I find myself where I run out of a drill with this infield, I know I can make something up right now, and I know how that applies to the game.
Big time.
But if I'm doing outfield and I hit a wall, I'm gonna have to pull my phone out, go on Google or YouTube, and try to figure out a new drill. Like, that ain't professional. That ain't good. Like, so that's why I stick with my infield only, man. And I look to guys like you, to guys, that's out here doing their training thing, in their specific field that they're comfortable in. And I look to those guys, and I recommend those guys to other people. Like, if you're trying to get your outfit, your pitching, your hitting, it's plenty of guys out here that's doing great things. Even on the infield side, I'm not the only guy doing this. It's plenty of guys out here that's offering great instruction. So that's why I do my infield thing, man. It's just real passionate for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna take a brief pause because I got some I was doing my research, and I had to get some data for the people, right? It's one thing for me to say it, it's one thing for Coach Smoke to say it, but men lie, women lie, but the numbers and the data don't lie. So I'm on PBR right now. So currently, I did my research with Coach Smoke, went on his website, went on the campsite, everything. So currently in Illinois, this is Illinois, guys. Please do not say this is the nation. This is Illinois. So currently, I know Christian Holmes, Prep Baseball Report ranked this guy the #1 infielder for the class of 2022 from De La Salle High School. Shout out to De La Salle, Coach Hall, doing great things. Amir Gray is ranked the second best infielder for the class of 2023. He's a Purdue early commit. Shy Robertson is ranked #7 in infielders for Illinois class of 2022. Illinois State commit. Ryan Little is ranked is ranked 11th class of 2022 from Brooks High School. Also, Bryce Nevels is ranked the 7th catcher, but his secondary position is third base. He's ranked 7th once again from PBR for class of 2023. So I just put this list out, and I might have missed someone, okay? Please don't hold this to my head or my heart. But I just want to give, because I know we got a lot of viewers who are not in Illinois and or who are not, aware of baseball. They have somebody small who don't understand about the rankings. Personally, the rankings, Coach Smoke and I agree with this. The rankings, is here or there. But when you have a long list of guys that you train that's on this Prep Baseball Report list, I mean, it got to feel great to you.
Oh yeah, it feels good. I mean, especially, I spoke on the first kid to join me. That's Shy Robinson. Like, to see, that, and Ryan Little was that second guy. So to see those guys, on that list, it means a lot. And then to see Christian, a kid who came to me, about September, October-ish, but put that trust in me to really help his development and, seeing the work that he puts in, like this kid grinds like crazy, man. It's crazy. And
Yep.
then to see Amir, who I actually coached this last spring and summer season, really put forth that work to prove a lot of people wrong about, his skills and to do that. And then my boy Bryce, man, like people sleep. Like but people see him work. A lot of people see him work out with me, and I think a lot of people get it mixed up. Like no, that boy back there behind that plate is something real. Like shout out to Dave Reed, who was his trainer on that catching side. But I call him Mr. Everything because he can get out there and hold it down for you at that corner, at that hot corner, if need be. Like he can pretty much play every position on the infield, every position on the baseball field. Probably not pitch, but other than that, but like it's a blessing, and there's many more to come, man. It's many more kids out here that's putting that work in that deserves to be notified, noticed on lists like that, man. And it's a great thing, man. I'm super proud of those kids because those guys really work their tails off, man. And they're not complacent with where they are. Their mindset, they want to continue to get better and better. So that's a great thing, man. Be on the lookout for that 2022 class. That infield gonna be ridiculous.
Okay.
Them three guys, they're teammates for the travel ball circuit, so don't sleep.
Okay, I gotta take just a couple questions before we break off until you actually demonstrating us some of those next level elite top drills. So Q. Huck says, who is the best players who you played with or against as a young kid, high school and college, and why?
Okay, so young kid, best player I played with or against as a young kid, and this don't have to be an infielder, right? This can be anybody, correct?
That's what he said.
Okay, okay. Best player I played with or against as a young kid is Devin Foreman.
Wait.
My
Freshman assistant. Shout out to the class of 2006, correct?
2006, but me and Devin played together 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay.
Devin, my first time seeing Devin play, I was on the Fernwood Park Brewers, and Devin was on the Oakdale Giants. Devin hit every ball to the other field fence at the park. Every single ball. I was like, this kid ain't 10. Like, it's crazy. And it's crazy. And that was going on throughout life when it came to baseball. Best player I've seen high school wise, this is probably the best player I've ever seen. Honestly, most talented player I've ever seen in my life is Clint Odom. Like just naturally gifted. I once seen this dude hit for the cycle and home runs. If y'all don't know what that means, he had a solo, 2-run, 3-run, and a grand slam in the same game. Like, kid, dude was amazing. He's a Simeon guy, of course, and I played with him as a sophomore his senior year, like probably had the just a pure natural. College, I'm gonna change it though. I'm not gonna go with the best player I played against in college. I'm gonna go with the best infielder to me that I saw in college, outside of myself, of course. Jesse Olivar, Jesse Olivar from Southern, man.
Southern U, Baton Rouge.
Southern Jesse Olivar to me had the best hands I seen in college baseball. The years that I played. Now, granted, you only play against them 6 times. We in a SWAC. I don't see the big time schools. This is who I saw personally. When I watched him play shortstop, I would sit there and be amazed. Like you look at him, he didn't look all athletic. It's a stigma. Shortstop's got to be the most athletic player on the field, on the infield. Got to be your best athlete. He didn't look like their best athlete, I can tell you, their second baseman, both of them were great athletes. Like, but this dude Glove was just amazing, and he made all the plays. He made all the routine plays. That's the one. That's the one thing I want people to understand. All
Hey,
that flashy stuff,
hey,
all that
that's it,
flashy
bro.
stuff.
Coach Smoke, take a couple hits away. Thanks for lowering my average, buddy.
But
Took a
all
couple
that,
hits away from me.
hey man, all that flashy stuff is cool. But if you can make the routine plays, you got a job. Like that's what it comes down to, man. And he made the routine plays look routine. Like, and that's the thing, man. Like those are the guys for me.
Okay, I'm gonna take one more question. It's the memory lane. What can I do with my 7-year-old to build his skill level?
Oh man, so it's a lot of things you can do. I say first thing, make sure you. Oh, I don't know what happened there. First thing I say is still the love of the game. Make sure he love the game. Let's not force the game on him. First thing, make sure he love it. Try to do things that provide fun first, and before we start going into strenuous teaching. Make them have fun first, because at the end of the day, this game is tough. If you can't have fun in it, it's gonna be hard. I say do a lot of little simple on the knee drills, just working on his hand placement, and getting a feel for the ball, with picking up that ball with your glove hand on the knees, and do it over and over and over. Understand, this game is very boring. It's very repetition. Doing the same things over and over and over, they matter. You can't just say, oh, I'm tired of doing that. I'm gonna do this, even though you ain't got good at doing what you was the first step. Got to perfect every step. Slow yourself down. Don't try to rush through the process, man. And man, he's 7. Understand that. Understand that there's gonna be a lot of down days with him. Like I got a 4-year-old who I had to check myself at times, like
Shout out to
because he'd be
CJ. Shout out
he'd
to
be
CJ.
he'd do it right 3 times, and then that fourth or fifth time he'd be like, I don't want to do this no more. And and I have to be like, you know what? At the end of the day, it's a process. So
Well, I said,
it's a lot of things, man. And I got a YouTube page out there that you all can go look at as well, that has a lot of different drills that you all can do with your kids, that you can, emulate on your own, small drills that don't require much equipment, that don't require much space.
so and I'm glad that you mentioned that. So I got to put you on the spot because can we see one or two small drills that you can do at a close space, close proximity? And while you're getting that set up, I'm gonna have to give a big shout out to the assistant coach, Coach P. From Graham. He's a Graham fam. So Coach Pierre says, when are you gonna start sending them to Graham State? Oh man, Coach gonna put you on the
Uh,
spot. But once again, this is Coach Pierre. I know him personally. He does great things. Shout out to Grambling State. I'm an alumni of Pine Bluff, but it's all swag love. I love what Grambling State is doing. They're literally taking kids from everywhere, inner city, rural America, suburban America, wherever it might be. They're taking kids and placing them in the school to be great men, not just baseball players. So shout out to Coach Pierre. So Pierre, want to know he needs some players from you, Coach Smoke.
hey, I'm definitely gonna address that. I'm gonna show just this quick drill that I know a lot of y'all have already seen, but it might be some new people that's
Can you
yo.
set the camera up just a little bit so they
Oh, can can they see?
that's a little bit better. Just
Uh,
pick it up.
so
Yeah, that's better.
this
There you go.
this is just something that I know a lot of you all already seen, but like I said, this is something you can do over and over again on your knee, and you by yourself. You can start with just dropping the ball down in front of you and picking it up through the ball, taking the glove through the ball.
Hold on, Coach. I'm
Say it
sorry.
again.
Back it up just a half. Yeah. Sorry, folks. We're all quarantined. So we don't have a camera. We don't
There
have.
we go. There we go. I'm good.
There
I'm
we
good
go.
now. Huh? All
Yeah.
right. So yeah, just dropping the ball right in front of you and picking it up, working on going through the ball, going through the ball. Same with forehand. Same with backhand. Then you can get on your feet and do it. Same thing. Boom. Open up a little bit forehand, backhand, boom. And then you can start incorporating your feet and all that. And then you can also, if you have a net like this or a tennis ball and a solid part on your wall that you can throw a ball to and basically get the ball to come back to you. Those are all the small drills you can do as well. Nothing too major, nothing too serious. Those are all things, just simple things to work on your hands and incorporating your feet. I know for me growing up, I used to go in my grandma's backyard. That's why I thought I was sweet though. Before I started getting teaching, I used to go in my grandma's backyard and throw the ball off the wall every day and just field the ground ball. I ain't had nobody hitting me ground balls. I ain't had no trainers or nothing like that. These kids today are fortunate. They better take care of their parents when they get older too.
They better.
But yeah, that's pretty much little simple stuff. But I want to address Coach Pierre's question. So I'm going to read it again. How do we get these tier one level kids that are highly ranked to be interested in HBCUs? They are working with guys like you and other black instructors. So how can we get them interested? My main thing will be getting on them early. Getting on them early, showing that interest early, not being afraid of what level they're at. It's gonna be hard for us, and I say us because I'm an HBCU guy.
Absolutely.
It's hard for us because we're competing against economics, of them other schools, and everybody that, for the most part, everybody that trained with me that asked me about college, I'll be one to tell them now the choice is theirs, but I make sure I pull up HBCU no matter what. But because I understand the value of it. Like for me, I think personally HBCUs. Well, man, I'm speaking for Grambling because that's why I went, but I'm gonna say Grambling is a representation of HBCU. So for me, Grambling developed me as a man, and a lot of people lose that aspect of this thing. They say they're caught up on the dream of going pro, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but at the end of the day, that's a hard achievement. How are you gonna function when that thing don't work out for you? And I feel that's what Grambling did for me, man. They taught me how to be a man, and I think that's what the HBCUs is small. They're small knit schools, so they care for you. They care about you, and it's not just on the athletics level, it's on the academic level. Like these teachers show they care. And that's important. And for me, I just think with the HBCUs, I think y'all just gotta show interest early and often. And and understand these kids gonna still make the decision they want to make, but at the end of the day, they're gonna always remember who was first. Who was first to show them some love. And when things don't work out like they did, they gonna come back. They gonna come back to who was there, so
And
that's my stand on.
piggyback on Coach Pierre. I think one of the biggest tools that I saw Coach Leroy Franklin, Coach Ernest Radcliffe, and Coach Kenny Foreman, and Coach Robert Fletcher, they were packaging early on before the showcases, before PBR, before Perfect Game really blew up. They were packaging players early. So to agree with Smoke, they were packaging them early. So like Coach Smoke mentioned early on in the conversation, he went to Grambling by himself. Had it been a situation to where Grambling State said, "Hey, Coach Smoke, we're gonna offer you, Coach Ernest, Daryl Jordan, Dave Reed," just throw a couple names out there, it might have been a different situation. We all might have been Grand fam. And to the point where he's speaking on early and often, I know the black schools, HBCUs, we don't have those resources, but my challenge to the coaching staff at all SWAC, MEAC, CIAA, SIAC, and whoever else I missed, you guys got to get creative and actually coming to see the kids early on, like Coach Smoke is saying. The PWIs and the big conferences in 8th grade, which I had Trey Hodges on the show last week, they're getting looked at. 8th grade, right away. Of course, they're not violating any NCAA policies, but they're going to the 14U showcases. As me being a former 14U coach, I've seen top five power conferences literally sit at the whole tournament looking at kids from the White Sox Ace program. So to make it short, I would agree with Coach Smoke, make it early in the offense, and I'll also say, if you can package the kids up with saying, I'm not only going to offer you, I'm going to also get this other tier 1 guy that plays with you, it's more sellable to the parents, because we're going to lose the resource battle. There's nothing we can do. We're underfunded. We get it. But to Coach Smoke's point, HBCUs made me the man that I am today. It made Coach Smoke and many others the man that we are today, and we're giving back to the community. But it's going to take much more than what's going on right now with HBCU baseball. Nobody is going to, I'm going to speak to the elephant in the room. Nobody's going to just go to a SWAC or MEAC black school just because it's a black college. We have to be able, and I say we have to be able to, as a black baseball family, we got to be able to get creative and offer the kids something. We can't offer what the PWIs offer, but we got to be able to offer so much more. Hey, I'm not going to be able to have the $5 million facilities, but I got $1 million facility, and I can promise you're going to get a job after this, right? So it goes into different layers. So, Coach Pierre, we're promoting black schools, especially Grambling, Pine Bluff, every school in the SWAC, we're promoting them. But now I would say I challenge the SWAC coaches to actually get up here early. You, Coach Smoke, myself, Coach Marcus Rogers, Coach Ron Gracie, Javon Martin, it's a list on who went to black schools. You can hit us on Facebook, email us, Robert Fletcher, whoever, Kenny Foreman. And I know you guys were doing a great deal of it, but if you want to beat the Power 5 conferences, you got to go above and beyond. I know I'm going to take this comment from Roderick Gray, Amir Gray's dad. I mentioned him earlier. He's the #2 infielder for 2023. Mr. Gray said, I wish those schools would get out and recruit earlier. They have a great product to showcase, but it seems they often come around to recruit later in the process. This is exactly what we were talking about. And Mr. Gray, it's not anything personal to the black college coaches. Their funding is it's so ridiculous. They're underfunded, and a lot of times these guys got to use their own personal money. So we all got to come together to figure this thing out, right? So I love that comment, and this is where, and I love what we're doing on Instagram. We can kind of bridge that gap between the HBCUs and the top tier kids. And I said this, I was talking about this with Coach Smoke and another good friend of mine. Ricky Weeks holds the record for batting averages, home runs in collegiate baseball, but you would never hear about that because he went to Southern University. He got drafted #2 overall in the 2003 draft, I believe. And he's an all-star. He's getting a pension from Major League Baseball. And it's many more, right? I'm no shade to anybody, but unless the information is out there and we actually provide that, we're still lost. But Coach Smoke, the last question. So Coach Smoke, we need to know, when is the next Coach Smoke camp? I know we're practicing social distancing. And so when is the idea? When do you, give us an estimate of when you think it's going to be?
Man, I want to do something soon as we get back out here, man.
Right.
Like, just being real. I mean, because this has been rough being away from the game like this, like I coach a 14U travel ball team with the ACE program. Like, we should be playing right now, so I want to get something going as soon as possible. But something that I'm definitely, looking forward to doing is something around back to school time, so shooting for August for sure, or back to school type event, you know, gonna try to make this thing big.
Okay.
A lot of people I want, you know, to get involved with this, you know, so, you know, definitely look into that, but we definitely want to get some, gotta get these boys and girls back with as soon as we get off punishment, you know, we can,
I
we
don't.
want
I like that. Societal punishment. So real quick, I'm gonna take a couple more questions. Bio Glass says, when when is Coach Smoke coming to do a camp in Louisiana?
man, that's a dream of mine.
Okay.
To come down. Now, if I do it in Louisiana, y'all know where I'm doing it at. So please, please get that
Yes.
understood.
Grandma said,
Uh, yes, sir. Of course, I have to get that approved through Coach Coop and Coach Pierre and all that. But if that's where I ideally would love to do something down at, you know, in Louisiana. That's something I want to do as soon as possible, man. I actually had something set up to do in Houston last year in the fall, but they had real bad. Yes, with Mike Hall.
shout out to Mike Hall. Shout out to the
Yeah.
Houston Astros RBI.
But they had real bad storms. So we had to, you know, cancel that. But yeah, I definitely want to get down to Louisiana, man, and show what I can do down there. You know, especially to you Southerners, man. You know, show y'all that us Midwest and Northerners, we can do this thing a little bit. You know.
Hey man, Chicago. I mentioned this when I was on the first recess show with Anthony Ochoa. Hey, I'm challenging everybody. Chicago. I'm putting my young Bulls against anybody in the nation, in the world. Chicago baseball is standing up right now. I'm gonna take a couple more. So insert a good Instagram name. Coach Broom asks, when's the next Coach Smoke virtual challenge? Oh, hold on. Before you speak, I forgot to mention. Sorry, Coach Smoke challenge went viral. I think it went to China, Japan, or somewhere. So can you expound on when's the next Coach Smoke virtual challenge?
So I got one in mind. I got one in mind, and I'm just trying to figure out when I want to do it. Uh, Grambling State soccer team kind of beat me to the punch. They did something of that nature already, but hey, so what? I can do it too. But it's coming, and when it comes, I need everybody's participation because it's gonna be big. It's not necessarily gonna be a challenge, more so a chain reaction. So you know, and it's coming soon. Just be prepared.
Okay. And Croc Samuels Prime, HBCUs could shop a program working with MLB to put on a training and teaching and competitive camp for young ball players. He also stated MLB are looking for outreach programs to invest in. Very good points. Right now they have the EDI program.
Mm-hmm.
They have breakthrough series that's currently going on, and this is where they take the top kids in the inner city and do developmental things. I know Jerry Manuel, Luke Collier, Ron Walker, Marvin Freeman. They're big, actually putting these camps on. So make sure you guys Google search EDI and also breakthrough series. But that's a very good.
Hey, and what you speaking on that, man? I wanna give a quick shout out to Lou Collier and Anthony Olivo. Those guys gave me my first opportunity to actually participate, and it was the girls MLB Grit little program they had for the girls, and those two guys thought enough of me to put my name out there for me to be able to participate and assist in that activity. So shout out to those guys as well.
Okay, Coach Smoke. I know
Yes, sir.
somebody had mentioned, can you provide a link? Q.Huck, I'm sorry. He says, can you provide a link for the merch? Merch meaning apparel, t-shirts. So I know a couple people, our older audience might not know what merch is. That's a younger. That's apparel.
So I need to get back on my game, of getting my production back going, man. I kind of stopped production when I ran my camps, man. I gave all my merch to my participants for the most part. So, and I've been getting a lot of questions, and so I'm gonna get back to it as soon as possible. So I'm gonna be back on it sooner than later.
Absolutely. So, Coach Smoke, if anybody was interested, because we're going to wrap this up, if anyone is interested in getting in contact with you, how can they get in contact with you to get virtual training, virtual points, to pick your baseball brain, and or schedule a training session when, the social distancing is over? How can they get in contact with you?
You can contact me via Instagram, Coach Smoke Camp, my page. I'm on Facebook as well, same name, as well as as well as Twitter. At Coach Smoke Camp 1 on Twitter. You can message me on any one of those.